Whoa, that's loud. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin, your beginner-friendly guide to stacking against the machine. Stack against the machine. Stack against the machine that keeps you poor. Stack against the machine that that keeps you from retiring. Stack against the machine that keeps you working your whole life. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today is yet another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. Back in the day when I was a kid, there used to be a pretty popular or very famous public service announcement campaign, like a commercial that showed like a frying pan on the stove, and it showed an egg, and it said like this is the egg is like this is your brain, and then they crack the egg in the frying pan, and then it tells you this is your brain on drugs, right? To get you not to do drugs, of course, right? PSA. So it reminded me of that analogy when you say your savings on Bitcoin. The thumbnail is a little piggy bank exploding with value because there's Bitcoin in it. So that is your savings on Bitcoin. Or another way you could do that is we do a frying pan and say these are your dollars on. This is your savings in dollars is like you throw in a bunch of ice cubes into the frying pan. That's what happens to your savings. Oh my gosh. All right, throw some little background music here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Koji Monster in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience. Choo! Welcome. Let's kick things off, as you guys know, with the Bitcoin strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is $96,528, $525.78. You can buy 1,035 Satoshis, 1,036 Satoshis for a single dollar. What the heck is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents, a Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. So you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once. You don't have to save up $96,000 to buy a Bitcoin. Instead, you save in Bitcoin and you work your way towards your Bitcoin and you keep going. Round of applause for Dari Duke from the live studio audience. What up, Dari? Good to see you in here. But that is what you do today. At the price of $96,000 Bitcoin, 1 penny will buy you 10 Satoshis still. And again, $1 will buy you 1,035 fractions of a Bitcoin. Satoshis. Okay? It's pretty good. Not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Okay, so we're chilling. And yesterday I had a follow-up question about Bitcoin wallets. And the kind of Bitcoin wallets I recommend for somebody that's new. I would recommend a wallet that has the following qualities. It is a Bitcoin only wallet, or you can run firmware on it that's Bitcoin only. On top of that, I recommend a wallet that's open source, so the code can be audited, right? And those are pretty much the main, for me, the main factors you should consider, right? A good one to use is like a cold card. I think cold cards are good. Blockstream Jade, I think, is pretty good. If you already have a Trezor, it's fine as long as you run it with a Bitcoin only firmware. The one I would definitely not do is what's that called? What's that one called? Lexer? Ledger. I would definitely. The only one I'd recommend against is the Ledger, the Nano X or the whatever, because Ledger has already shown itself to want to do kind of shady stuff with backing up your seed phrase on the cloud, right? Yeah, Ledger. I wouldn't do Ledger stuff. Even though it's a feature that you have to opt into, the original plan for them a while back, like maybe like a year ago, they wanted to put out a firmware update for your quote unquote protection that would back up your seed phrase to one of their servers, or give you the ability for them to back up your seed phrase for you. And if they get hacked, there goes all your stuff, right? So just the fact that they thought that was a good idea was lame. And so therefore they cannot be trusted. Okay, this is just my opinion. Okay, so that's why we don't do Ledger. I wouldn't recommend doing Ledger anything. Is it Ledger? Yeah, I just looked it up, right? Yeah. I used for many years, works fine, and my seed phrase is not backed up. Okay, yeah, it's fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine, but just the track record of their decision making is not something I could feel 100% comfortable with recommending. And if I had a Ledger, I would consider moving it to a different wallet. I know it sucks to have to move it, but better safe than sorry. Because even if they're not doing it, the fact that it's an option, it's just kind of it's a weird thing, you know? Why would anybody have to have a copy of my seed phrase for my personal stack when I never asked for it to be backed up? Right, that's just asking to get rugged. But every hardware is doing the work. Yeah, the hardware, yeah, it's fine. It's fine if the hardware is doing the work. But I'm telling you, if that feature is enabled, or if even if they accidentally enable it for a few hours, and or you catch that update, right? And they take your seed phrase, a copy of a seed phrase, a backup of your seed phrase, and then say, "Oh, we made a mistake. We didn't mean to do that," and then undo it. Your seed phrase has still been exposed to something. And even if they wholeheartedly intend on keeping it safe, right? If you get hacked, it doesn't matter what your intention was. I'm still gonna lose my coins, right? I'm still gonna lose my Bitcoin. So it's just better safe than sorry. Yeah, they can't access it unless they push an update that you accept. They can't access it unless they push an update that you accept. Okay, let's keep it rolling. But yeah, so wallets I do recommend would be like what I say? Cold Card, a Blockstream Jade device, a Trezor, but only with Bitcoin only software. And even the Trezor one right now, it's a little bit even iffy because their code is not open source, or not. Their code is not auditable. So more Cold Card and probably more Cold Card with the little Sparrow wallet software. All right, let's jump into the next topic of the day. Let's jump into what is called Why We Stack. All right. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit off today, but keeping it real simple. If you're new to the show, new to Bitcoin, and you're trying to understand what the heck is a big deal, why should I save in Bitcoin? You keep saying save in Bitcoin. It's really simple. Okay, Bitcoin has a limited supply, and that's what gives it value. It's its scarcity is what gives it its value. And when you save in something that's not as scarce as Bitcoin, the value of your savings goes down against Bitcoin. But when you save in Bitcoin, the value of your savings increases. The purchasing power of your savings increase. Okay, and I'll show you some examples today. Today we're gonna do the long examples of the stack recap, so you can see the differences in why you should save in Bitcoin and how the longer you hold it, the wealthier you become against the dollar, regardless of what you do. And even if you work harder and harder, you're still gaining less and less purchasing power unless you're holding an asset that beats inflation, which is Bitcoin. Okay, so when we say Bitcoin shields you from inflation, it's because it does. Since your money is outside of the growing money system, it makes the value of your savings worth more and more over time and not lose purchasing power like it would if it was in paper money, right? So paper money is bad because you can make more of it, and the government does continuously make more of it. And Bitcoin is good because it's a limited supply. There's only so much available, and as more and more people understand the qualities of Bitcoin, especially the inflation hedge quality of Bitcoin, they will start to move towards it, and you have a scarcer and scarcer asset that is getting a bigger demand. So the only thing that can happen is the price is going to go up, right? But I'm not even worried about the price of it going up because I'm not in it to make more paper money. I'm in it to be ahead of the curve when the money system shifts to something more scarce like Bitcoin, right? So but either way, whether you're in it for the money, whether you're in it for the number go up, or for the future of money, it's still the best thing you can be holding. Even if you do plan on selling it, if you're saving for something, if you're saving for a down payment on a house, a car, a thing, you're better off still saving in Bitcoin because you'll be able to get to your savings goal faster than if you just saved in dollars. Okay? And you'll be able to see some of that during the stack recap in here in a little bit coming up. Okay? All right, before we jump into the stack recap, and just to close off or to round out the why we stack segment, I'm going to go into my usual spiel. We save in Bitcoin because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold a Bitcoin that represents those hours. Okay? If you're not saving in Bitcoin, you will never outrun the money printer. You will always have to work harder and harder, more and more jobs, spend less and less time with your family just to get what you already have, just to keep what you already have, just to stay at the current level of living that you're used to, if you save in government money. Okay, and I found this. I like the comedian Bill Burr, and he's got a podcast called the Monday Morning Podcast, and I have a little clip that I want to play for you guys that I think is pretty interesting. It describes this problem, right? It describes this problem that we have, and Bitcoin is a solution for it. Okay, it's insane. Watch, check this out. We're gonna listen to it, and you guys can hear how he describes it. And I'm telling you, Bitcoin is the solution for this. Here we go. Oh, hang on, let me stop this music here. Get this back to where I had it. Oh my God. 43. 08. Oh, 4 works. There it is. Here we go.
Where people are from, where they're from. Dude, this is so, the amount of people that are struggling out there because of these fucking billionaires. And they got us all arguing liberal and conservative. We got to stop doing that. Like, I am so tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much fucking money in this country. And there's so much work being done, you know. And if you work a full fucking week at a job, you should be able to pay your fucking rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get another fucking job and still be struggling. It's bad for the country because then the kids don't see their parents and they're not getting work being done, you know. And if you work a full fucking week.
Anyway, that's such a crazy. I mean, it's the truth, right? So he's identified the problem. He's identified the problem, right? But the people in charge are not going to give up that power. They're not going to give up becoming more wealthy, right? They're not going to give up that becoming more wealthy. You have to take that from them, and the only way that we have that is a way to take that from them, or to not even take anything from them, to keep, just to keep what you've been working on, just to keep the efforts of your labor, is to save it in Bitcoin. Okay, right? Because when you're saving it in Bitcoin, you're slowly digging yourself out of that hole, right? Now the machine that's keeping you poor is making you rich, right? That's why we Bitcoin, guys. Straight up, that's why we Bitcoin. And I don't care what you do with your personal stuff, with personal life, how you decide to spend your free time, right? I just want you to have that free time. I just want you to have that option to have that free time. So that's why I do this show, and it's difficult. It's a little bit of a grueling, a grind, I guess you could say, right? But I mean, I got that long-term mindset right now. You know, if I gain a subscriber or two a week, it's more subscribers than I had at the beginning of the week. So I'm happy about it, right? And same thing, if I stack 1,000 sats today, 20,000 sats, 40,000 sats, I'll take whatever I can stack, and I'm happy to have the ability to stack, right? Because I know that in the future, maybe not in the near future, but in the future, we'll be better off for it, right? Which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, that is why we stack in a nutshell. A little bit of a longer version of it. Oh yeah, let's do one more. Let's do one more for comedic relief. Why so serious? This is funny. Okay, for comedic purposes only. Let's watch this one next. I think you're gonna like it. Hang on, let me stop this music. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta go here. Hard Hollow in the house. What up? You guys are gonna like this one. Here we go. Oops, not that one. This one. Nope, not that one. Where is it? Screen. Here it is. Ready? They moved my space over here. Oops. This is for one of Trump's meetings at the Oval Office when President Elon was speaking.
From one year to the next are the same. From one year to the next are the same. And they're
Are you talking to me?
next are the same. And they're
You shush your mouth.
next are the same.
Well, I'm not going to shush,
And if
so you
have
shush.
Rule of next are the same. The bureaucracy.
Yes, sir.
The bureaucracy is in charge.
Oh my gosh, TikTok is brutal. Anyway, it's a little something I found on the internet the other day, actually this morning. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, it's wild. It's wild out there. It's wild out there. Okay. Let's go on to the next topic of the show that we like to call. What is it? Oh yeah. The stack recap, because we don't only talk about stacking Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We actually do it. And there it is. Our stack for 2025. We are down 2.36%. Bitcoin is going to zero. I repeat, Bitcoin is going to zero. Sell, sell, sell. We've saved $940 into Bitcoin so far. And the value of the Bitcoin we saved in 2025 is only $917. Again, we are down 2.36%. The current price of Bitcoin is $96,599, and our average buy price for 2025 is $99,523. So today, with the price of Bitcoin below the average buy price for 2025, we have to do a double stack, and for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th, for the 8th day in a row, we're doing a $40 stack instead of a $20 stack. Damn, son. We're really padding it. Okay? So that's what we're doing today. On February 13th, 2025, we're stacking a $40 stack. Okay? Now before we jump into that purchase, and before I freak you guys out, remember, we're just a month in, about a month and a half into 2025. This is how it starts. You know, you're gonna buy in, you're gonna feel weird, you're gonna think that you're gonna lose more money, but you just hold on, you hang on, and you continue to stack when the stacking is good, like it is today. See, in 2024, we thought, oh my God, I got in at 43,000, 45,000, 42,000, and it dropped to like 39. You're like, oh no. And then it came back up. And it came back down to 58K. It came back up and back down and back up and back down and back up. And even hit 101,000, 106,000. Right? But over the long term of those purchases combined, if you look at it today, we're 61% up on those purchases for 2024. So we're good. Right? And if you quote unquote zoom out even more, go to the full lifespan of the show since we started May 22nd, 2023, we are up 96%. So no biggie when you look at the 2025 date. If you're new, I know it gets scary. I understand. But just buy, take it into custody and hodl. That's it. That's all you got to do. The Bitcoin works for you. Okay, it's just all you gotta do is hold it. Nothing difficult. But I guess it would be difficult if you're scared. But don't be scared. Okay. All right. So since today we're buying a $40 stack. Oh yeah. Let's do a little bit of our stats per good. Stats per good are pretty much the same still. Let's see. Bread is down to 4-digit Satoshi count now. So October 2nd, 2023, we started tracking the cost of bread, $4.49. They raised the price to $4.89 in terms of dollars. But even with the price increase in terms of dollars, the price of this bread in terms of Bitcoin, in terms of Satoshis, is still down about 70%. Okay. The bread used to cost me 16,413 Satoshis. Today it costs me 5,062 Satoshis. So for the price of one loaf of bread back in October 2023, I could buy 3 loaves of bread with that same amount of Bitcoin. Okay, so that's a heck of a discount. Okay, if I was saving $2,500 in addition to making my $2,500 mortgage, I would have bought back 2 years ago. I would have bought about 15 million Satoshis with each purchase. And after 2 months, those 30 million Satoshis would cover the cost of my rent or mortgage for the following year, just in saving $2,500 about 2 years ago, right? So that is the power of just saving in Bitcoin, okay? And you look at what it would take for me to generate an additional year's worth. So I took the value that it would take me to pay for 2 months and multiplied it so that it can now cover the cost of a whole year, right? And then you think about, okay, well, what about the actual work it would take to create the additional 10 months worth of rents or 10 months worth of mortgage? And all that came from nowhere. I mean, it came from inflation, I guess, right? It came from the price of Bitcoin going up, right? But all I had to do was to generate that much extra value and grow the purchasing power of my savings was just hold it in Bitcoin. I didn't have to do anything extra. And that's the beauty of it. That's the power of just saving in Bitcoin. Deciding that you're going to save in Bitcoin, deciding how much you're going to spend, you're going to save into Bitcoin each time, and deciding the frequency that you're going to do it at. That's the hardest part. And then just buying it, setting it aside into your own self-custody wallet, and not touching it. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Hard Huddle in the house. Also for Carlos Jaramillo. What's up, Carlos? Oh, what's up, Pipeline Podcast too. Hey guys, I'm not going to reveal my full stack, but I stacked 5,163 today. Boom! For my file. There you go. DCA to BTC. Good job, Pipeline Podcast in the house. Round of applause. Little air horn for you. That's how you do. That's how you do it. See? And then Pipeline Podcast. We're gonna look back at that $5 stack, right? In 2 years or however long. And who knows? Your $5 stack might end up like my $5 stack. See that? 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago. It's like 21 months ago. My $5 that I stacked back in the day turned into $17 today. And still growing because I haven't spent it, right? I'm still holding the 18,000 Satoshis. See, your $5 bought you 5,163 Satoshis. And my $5 bought me 18,000 Satoshis back in the day. Okay? And maybe 2 years from now, your a $5 purchase is only going to be 2,000 Satoshis. If that, right? That's crazy to me. That's crazy, right? And we're not that far away from that. It's pretty wild, right? And then your $5 worth of Satoshis that you bought today, your 51,600, so if your 51,063 Satoshis, can be worth $10, right? And that is the circle of life. But that's how Bitcoin works, right? And it doesn't matter if you started 2 years after I started. It's just that your clock is set to your first purchase, right? So each purchase of Bitcoin that you make individually, set a 4-year clock. Set a 4-year clock on that individual purchase, and you'll see like that. During any forward-year window, you're going to be up on that on that stack, looking 4 years into the future. Okay. So that said, even though that's the idea, the show here is only about 21 months old, our show, and we're already in the profits. Like we're already 100%, pretty much 100% profits. Okay. And we haven't even gone through a whole Bitcoin cycle. We haven't even gone through the whole 4-year cycle yet. Okay. So if you can do enough research about Bitcoin and understand it well enough to be prepared to hold for at least 4 years, that alone is like you're already winning. Because by the time you get to the 4-year mark, like here on the show, I'm not even at the 2-year mark. Or am I? No, I'm not even at the 2-year mark here for the show. The show is not even at the 2-year mark, and it is evident that the best thing we could have been doing was to save in Bitcoin. We saved $11,769 in dollar cost average buys that we've done here on the show during our live streams for 375 episodes. And today that value of that Bitcoin, that 0.239 Bitcoin, is $23,110. We've in essence doubled the value of our savings, beating inflation. Because let's say inflation is 10%, so we're still beating inflation. Let's say inflation was 20%, we're still beating inflation because we're up 96%, right? Or 100%, right? If you have any kind of investment that's making you less than 10% gains for the year, then you're losing to inflation still, or you're treading water. You're not getting any wealthier. You're just kind of like surviving, staying afloat, keeping your head above water, but you're about to drown if you're not in Bitcoin. All right. That said, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet that loves to stack Bitcoin and show the progress of it. This is not These are not made up numbers. You guys see me buy the Bitcoin here on the show live. You guys see me update the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is there for you guys to download if you want to go check it out. It's !SAT sheet in the chat. We'll give you a link for the spreadsheet. You can go in there. You can check out the data. You can manipulate it, whatever you want to do. Or you can clear out all my information and input your information into that sheet. So you can start tracking your sats too and have it show you what each buy is worth and if you're up or down on that individual buy. It's good to have this data anyway because you'll know if you ever do have if you ever do need to sell some, you'll know what you bought it at, and we'll be able to do your taxes better, right? You need to keep track of all this stuff for your taxes too. All right. Well, with that, since we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy today, $40. There's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some Bitcoin. All right, here we go. Stacking a little. Opening up my Strike app. Boom. Strike. I'm gonna hit the buy button. I'm gonna key in $40. I hit next. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna cut the music. Drum roll, please, from the live studio audience band. From the live studio band. Confirm buying $40 worth of Bitcoin today while the price is low, while the price is cheap. And just like that, we have successfully stacked an additional, an additional 41,032 Satoshis for the stack. Let's update the stack here for 2025. Boom. We bought at the price of $96,558.78. We bought $40 worth. And that gave us 0.0004132 Bitcoin, which translates to 41,032 Satoshis, fractions of a Bitcoin. Oops. And that means that for the year of 2025, for the year of 2025, hold on a second, what's this? Oh, I got it. For this year, we've saved so far $980, and that's right. Yeah, $980, and the value of our stack is currently $956. Okay. For the whole lifespan of the show, let's add that here too. There it is. And now our stack is at 0.33336974 Bitcoin for the win. And even though it looks like the dollar value is just kind of sitting there, it's not going up very much, even though we keep adding to it. We're in essence buying more sats than we need. Like these are cheap sats. Cheap sats here. And these cheap sats, it seems as though it's not making that big of an effect on our actual account value here, right? Because we're just buying at this lower price. But when the Bitcoin starts to run again, I keep saying when the Bitcoin, but when Bitcoin starts to run again, you're basically buying multiples of something, right? As long as you have, the more Satoshis you have, the more multiples you have to grow your savings, right? So don't be fooled. Minus 2.42% looks bad, and the value of our savings seem to be going down. Well, they are going down, based in dollar terms. but we're still increasing the amount of Bitcoin we have. We're almost at 1 million Satoshis for 2025. Okay. So the whole time we've been buying, and it seems like we're losing value because we're pricing it in terms of dollars, it doesn't matter. We're getting closer and closer to 0.01 Bitcoin. Okay. Most people wish they could get to 0.01 Bitcoin. It's just $1,000, right? But we're getting closer and closer. Maybe tomorrow, if the price of Bitcoin is still below the average buy price, we will get to 0.01 Bitcoin, right? We'll be sat millionaires. We'll be Satoshi millionaires for the first time in 2025. Okay, so it's cool. It's cool. It's really cool. Okay, so hodl on, keep buying, and most importantly, just keep studying Bitcoin, guys. You have to. All right, if there's any questions, anybody wants to pop in the chat, go ahead. If you watch the replay and you have any questions you want to leave for me, leave it in the comments. I will answer your question in the following episode. But yeah, I'm gonna go get back to my regularly scheduled job. Time for me to go back to the fiat mines and earn my keep and exchange my time for the dirty dollars so I can buy more Bitcoin and continue to stack here on the Stack Bitcoin Show. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode. It's a Friday episode, so be ready to party. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Bye, guys.